This video will explain how to view statistics. To use the statistics function, you will need to add the target component to the statistics and set the added statistic behavior to the statistic properties of the container type behavior. There are 7 types of container type behaviors. First, we will add a statistic behavior and set the statistic properties of the container type. Open the How to View Statistics.vcmx. Switch the ribbon to the Modeling tab. Select the conveyor template on the 3D world. On the ribbon, go to Behavior, Behaviors, and under Miscellaneous, click Statistics to add a statistic behavior. On the component graph window on the left, go to Conveyor Template, Behaviors and select Main Path. On the Properties window on the right, change Statistics from Null to Statistics. To display the status of resources such as when they are busy or idle, you will need to define their statistics. On the Component Graph window, go to Conveyor Template, Behaviors and select Statistics. At the bottom of the Properties window, click the Create Default States button. By doing this, we have defined a system state for the default status. There are 8 different types of system states. When adding a new status, click to Add Row and select a system state for the status name. Complete the same procedure for Conveyor Template number 2. When using equipment for controlling a robot or process, you will need to set statuses by using a set state statement. Switch to the Process tab. Go to Editor on the ribbon and select Processes. Select the generic work table on the 3D world to open the process routine screen. Loading, work, and unloading operation statuses have been programmed into the generic work table. The generic work table is idle from when a product is unloaded until another product is loaded. It is busy from when a product is loaded until its work is completed. It is blocked from when work is completed until the worked product is unloaded. This setting does not require a human or mobile robot. All parts registered to the e-catalog have these 2 settings set to them. Now we will display the statistics. Switch to the Home tab. On the ribbon, click Statistics. Select the 2-column 1-row regular dashboard and click the Create button. There are 4 graph types that are displayable on Gemini. These are line chart, area chart, bar chart, and pie chart. Here, we will select pie chart and line chart for the graph type to be displayed. We will now select the left pane of the Statistics window and set a graph. On the Properties window on the right, go to Data Series, number 1, and under Components, select Process Machine, Work Table. You can select an items in Components by clicking the icon with the 2 arrows, then clicking the plus icon, and then selecting a Components item. Then go to Property on the same window and set Statistics.BusyPercentage. After that, click the Add Series button. Under number 2, set Process Machine, Work Table to Components. Also under number 2, set Statistics.Idle Percentage to Property. Now we will select the right pane of the Statistics window and set a graph. On the Properties window on the right, go to Data Series, number 1, and under Components, select Conveyor Template number 2. Then go to Property on the same window, and set statistics.partExited. This is an index value that counts the number of workpieces that have passed through the conveyor. Go to the ribbon, Statistics, and set 1 second to the interval. It is set to 60 seconds by default, and the number of seconds set here determines at what second interval the statistics will update one time. If you play the simulation, the statistics window will show the charts of the operation rates on the left, and the number of workpieces outputted on the right. Also, charts will be updated according to the operation status of the equipment. Now we will explain the properties of the graph. Name sets the graph title. Selecting Legend Visibility displays the legend of the chart. The name of each data series is displayed as an explanatory note. When name is blank, the property name is used. Selecting Title Visibility displays the title of the chart. The title displays the character string set in name. Next, we will explain the properties of the data series. Name specifies the name of the data. Component sets the component for display on the statistics. Multiple components can also be set here. Property sets the property to be displayed as a statistic. Thickness sets the thickness of the lines plotted on the chart. A description of the properties defined to the added statistics behavior can be confirmed from VC Statistics under Help. Also, there are properties with interval added to the name of the property explained earlier. The definition of this property is the same as the property explained earlier. The previous property is the proportion of the total time accumulated from the start of the simulation. Properties that include interval are a proportion of the total accumulated number of seconds set in interval in the statistics. Now we will explain how to make a time chart. A time chart is created by turning flags on and off at the start and finish of each process, and then using the values of those flags to plot onto a graph. Go to the eCatalog window, Models by Type, Miscellaneous, Visual Components, and drag and drop a PM global variables onto the 3D world. Go to the Component Properties window and switch to the User Variables tab. We will add the variable to indicate the first conveyor transport process status to flag 1, the variable to indicate the human transport process from the conveyor to the machine to flag 2, and the variable to indicate the manufacture process using the machine status to flag 3. Set the name of the property to flag 1, the type to integer, and max value to 1, then click the Define Variable button. As Boolean-type variable cannot be plotted onto the statistics graph, we will use the integer-type variable that uses only 0 and 1 numerical values. Set flag 2 and flag 3 in the same way. Switch to the Process tab. On the ribbon, go to Editor and select Processes. Select the feeder process, and add a Get Property statement to the front of the process. Select the added statement and set its properties as shown on the screen. As the conveyor transport process start is set to flag 1, it will get the flag 1 property added to the PM global variables component. Add and assign variable statement between transport in and transport out. Select the added statement and set its properties as shown on the screen. Next, we will set the from conveyor process. Add two get property statements to the front of the process. Select the added statement and set its properties as shown on the screen. Here, we will obtain the properties for flag 1 and flag 2 that were added to the PM global variables component to set the end of the conveyor transport process to flag 1 and the start of the human transport operation to flag 2. We will add two assigned variable statements to between the transport in and transport out. Select the added statement and set its properties as shown on the screen. Here, to indicate the end of the conveyor transport process, set 0 to flag 1. To indicate the start of the human transport operation, set 1 to flag 2. Now we will set the generic worktable process. Add two get property statements to the front of the process. Select the added statement and set its properties as shown on the screen. Here, we will obtain the properties for flag 2 and flag 3 that were added to the PM global variables component to set the end of the human transport process to flag 2 and the setting of the machine manufacturing process to flag 3. Add two assigned variable statements between transport in and delay. Select the added statement and set its properties as shown on the screen. To indicate the end of the human transport process, set 0 to flag 2. To indicate the start of the machine manufacturing process, set 1 to flag 3. Then, add an assign variable statement to between delay and remove. Select the added statement and set its properties as shown on the screen. To indicate the end of the machine manufacturing process, set 0 to flag 3. Switch to the Home tab and click Statistics. On the Statistics window, click the Add New tab icon indicated by the green plus sign in the top right of the window. Select one column, one row regular dashboard and click Create. Select Area Chart for the graph type. Go to Properties and click the Add Series button twice to add two series. Set each of the series as follows. Go to the ribbon, Statistics, and set the interval to 0.1. If you start the simulation, each of the conveyor transport, human transport, and manufacturing will be plotted onto the graph. The data plotted on the graph can also be outputted to an Excel or CSV file. Now we will output these statistics to an Excel file. Go to Statistics, Export Graph, and click Export to Excel. Specify a save location for the Excel file, and press the Save button. When the file has finished saving, the Excel file will automatically open. Data will be outputted at each interval from the start of the simulation until the file is outputted, with busy as 1 and idle as 0. This concludes our explanation on how to view statistics. Thank you for watching.